We were transforming the x and the y-intercept. If we made changes to the y-intercept, your equation would look like, I'm just going to do g of x. G of x is equal to f of x plus or minus a number on this side, okay? Plus or minus a number. But if you were transforming the x-intercept, you were changing the x-intercept, you would then see what? The biggest difference is that you would see a group of parentheses, right? It would have parentheses, and that's the one where it would move it left and right. X-intercept moves left and right, y-intercept moves it up and down. And just always keep in mind that there's a minus sign there. So what we were doing is we were either adding or subtracting numbers to the end of the equation or adding or subtracting numbers inside of the parentheses. So today we're going to see what happens when we multiply numbers, okay? So observe how multiplying function by 2 will affect the graph of f of x. Well, when we see our equations written this way, it can still be very confusing. So we're going to practice what we started doing yesterday and switch it back to slope-intercept form, right? So we get y is equal to f of x, switches back to a what?
2x.
Just x. So you get y equals 2x. That's something that we have been seeing already. Now, what they want us to do is they want us to compare it to the parent function, to f of x. But I think filling this part out is going to make it confusing. So we're just going to scratch that out, okay? So what do they want us to do with the x values?
Multiply it by 2.
Multiply every x value by 2. So 0 times 2 is 0. 1 times 2 is 2 times 2.
4,
3 times 2,
6.
6. Okay? You're just taking every x value and multiplying it by 2. Now, if you need to see what we did, ooh, that would have been a good spot to do that. Hold on. 0 times 2, 0. 1 times 2, 2. 2 times 2, 4. 3 times 2, 6. Okay? That's where we get those numbers. Now, these are ordered pairs. The first ordered pair would be 0, 0. The second is what?
2.
This 1, 2. 0, 0. 1, 2. 2, 4. 3, 6. So we're going to plot those points. So 1, 2. 2, 4. 3, 6. Now you can also always go the other way, but I'm just going to graph this first half, or the top half of this line. And this is my g of x. So multiplying by the 2 did what to my line?
We changed it. Oh no.
In what way? Describe that change. What's it doing?
It got like turned from one way to another.
It's turning, or what word can we use? It is, why is my cat, why does it look like this?
Whoa.
Why does it look so small? Let me refresh this. There we go. So when we change the slope, or when we increase that number, notice the slope starts off as 1, the y-intercept is 0. So what we did is we changed the m to a number 2. So what happened to the slope? Or what happened to the line? It's not shifting. What's happening to the line as the number's getting bigger?
It's getting steeper.
It's getting steeper. Okay? As the number gets bigger, the line is getting steeper. Notice how it's starting to stand up a lot more? It's tilting to, it's becoming closer to a vertical line. That means that it is getting steeper. Okay? So let's see what happens when we multiply it by a what? Fraction. Okay? We're going to switch this back to slope-intercept form. Y is equal to 1/2 x. I'm going to scratch this part out this time. So what are we going to do? We're going to multiply every x value by 1/2. So 0 times 1/2 is
0,
2 times 1/2.
1
Half of 4,
is 2,
half of 6, 3. So our points are 0, 0, 2, 1, 4, 2, 6, 3. If you need to write it out to the side, do so. 2, 1, 4, 2, and 6, 3. All right. So plot those points. 0, 0, 2, 1, 4, 2, and 6, 3. What happened to this line?
You got less steeper.
Correct. When you multiply by a fraction, your line will be less steep. This is my h of x. It'll start laying down more. So let me show you that on the Desmos.
Desmos.
Okay. So if I decrease the number, notice that your line is starting to lay down a little bit more. It's becoming a horizontal line. That's because it's getting less steep. And look at m. M is 0.3. So any type of fraction or decimal is going to make the line less steep. But remember, your parent function is f of x, will always be f of x. You say this, and I didn't mention this yesterday, so I feel like some people were confused when I was saying it. That is read as f of x. When you have a letter in front of the parentheses x, it's f of x, g of x, h of x. Okay? Whatever name of x. That's how you pronounce that. So, here we go. It says, find the y-intercept of each function. What is the y-intercept of f of x?
Well, the y-intercept would be 0,
What's the y-intercept of g?
0,
What's the y-intercept of h?
0.
So what happened to the y-intercept?
It didn't change.
It didn't change. So when we multiply, the y-intercept doesn't change. Same y-intercept. Okay? Now find the slope of each function. What is the slope of f?
Slope of f is
It's just 1. What's the slope of g?
1, 2,
Look at your equation. What's the slope of g?
2,
2. What's the slope of h?
1/2.
1/2. Oh, gosh. Okay, so what's happening to the slope?
It's changing.
That is what's changing. So when you multiply your function by a number, when you multiply the parent function with by the input values, then you're changing the slope. The y-intercept doesn't change, but you're changing the slope, okay? We're going to write different slope. So that's what we're going to work on today. We're going to be changing the slope. Now, if your slope is greater than 1, what will it do to the line? It'll get steeper. Notice my slope is 2. 2 is bigger than 1, so that means that my line will get steeper. Okay? What happens when your slope is less than 1, when it's a fraction or a decimal? It'll be less steep. Okay? So transforming with AF of x and BF of x. Notice that when we multiply, they'll either put the slope here in front of f of x, or they'll put it inside with as FB of x. But it's still A and B both represent the slope. Okay? This does represent two different types of changes, but with straight lines, you don't see the difference. So don't worry about it. As long as it's a number that's multiplied by x, it's changing the slope. Got it? You don't actually see any type of change until we get to a different function, so we're not going to worry about that right now. What's up?
What do you mean, you only see this in straight lines, or you do this with straight lines?
You do transformations with, by the end of the year, we're going to see 3 different types of functions. Right now, we're working with straight lines, and that is linear. Next semester, we're going to be working with quadratic,
Cool.
and we are going to be working with exponential. So that's what I mean by straight lines. Everything we do this semester is all linear.
Yay.
Yeah.
My brain's gonna be
Yeah, it will. So when f of x is transformed by a f of x or f b of x, the slope of the function will be changed by a factor of a or b. Just fun fact, in case you don't remember, factor means to multiply. Your multiple. It's just another word for a multiple. So we're going to multiply by a or we're going to multiply by b. But as long as you're multiplying, you're just changing the slope. So once again, if b or if the number that you're multiplying is greater than 1, it's going to be what? Steeper. If the number that you're multiplying is less than 1 but still greater than 0, between 0 and 1, it'll be less steep. Okay, so remember, if it has to be between 0 and 1, we're talking about fractions or decimals. Now, obviously, we're not talking about 3/2 because 3/2 as a decimal is 1.5. 1.5 is bigger than 1, okay? So just take that lightly when I say fractions and decimals. All right, so describe how each function will compare to the parent function. So describe how it compares to y is equal to x, okay? Let's look at it. Well, for number 1, we switch it back to slope-intercept form, and this one would read as y is equal to 3/4 x. So we know we changed the slope. Is the slope greater or less than 1? Less than 1. I'm just going to write m. So then, actually, you do need to know this. So whenever the number is in front of f of x, that is known as a. So a is less than 1. That means it'll be less steep. Okay? Number 2. We have f of 4 of x. So change it back to slope-intercept form. It would be y is equal to 4x. But notice the 4 is inside parentheses. So if it's inside parentheses, that's b. But b is greater than 1. My slope is greater than 1. I'm going to write slope because I don't want you to get confused with the y-intercept. Slope is greater than 1. If it's greater than 1, what happens?
It goes up.
What happens to steeper? Steeper. Okay. Turn to number 3. Rose graphed this, and it said we're going to change our equation back. Y is equal to b of x. So they're asking us what happened to the slope. Find the slope. It says find the value of b. When we typically in slope-intercept form, when we're looking for the value of b, we're looking for the y-intercept. But here, b is in front of x, b is multiplied, so they're asking us to find the slope. Okay, if it's a number that's multiplied to the x, they're asking you for the slope. So let's find the slope of g.
You can start at the origin.
And what other point can we use?
6, 4.
6, 4. So to find the slope of a graph line, what do we use?
Rise over run.
Rise over run. So we rise what?
4.
And run
6.
6. But 4 over 6 simplifies to give us
2 over 3.
2 over 3. So that gives us what? Y equals 2 over 3x. Now, when we switch it back to function notation, the y changes to what?
F of x.
G of x. Okay. And notice with this one, the b is written inside of the parentheses. So that means my 2/3 is going to go inside of the parentheses. 2/3 x. It all depends on how they want you to write it. But we're still just writing it in slope-intercept form, switching it back to function notation, because that's the easiest way to do this. All right, number 4. It is an extra step, but it's the easiest way to do this, I promise. I've tried to teach it without doing that. All right, so Stefan graphed f of x, and then p of x is equal to a f x. Switch it back. Y is equal to a x. They're asking us, what is the slope? A is multiplied by x, or a is in front of x. They're asking you for the slope. So let's find the slope. You use the origin and what else? Give me another point that we can use.
Negative.
2, 2.
Not negative 2, 2. Oh, no.
Positive.
Negative 2, 4.
Negative 2, 4. We're finding the slope of P. Okay?
Oh.
Remember the parent, this is the parent function. This is the starting point. So it went from that line to this line. Okay? All right, let's do rise over run. What's the rise?
4.
And the run?
Negative 2.
Okay. But 4 over negative 2 simplifies to
Negative 2.
negative 2. So in slope-intercept form, I would write it as y is equal to
Negative 2x.
negative 2x. But we have to write it in function notation form. So y is going to change to
P of x.
p of x. Okay. Notice the way they wrote it up here. They put it in front of f of x. So my negative 2 is going to go in front of f of x. Okay. And that would be your new equation. Questions? Okay. Let's look at number 5. Functions f and h are shown on the grid. Circle the name of the student who did it correctly. Well, with the equations written the way they are, confusing, right? So let's switch them back to slope-intercept form. Let's do Pamela first. H of x switches back to y equals what?
F of n, x minus 1.
X minus 1. Daniel switches back to y equals
Y equals negative x.
negative 1x. Yeah. Jen is y equals x minus 1 in parentheses. Okay, that was from yesterday's. Okay, so let's see what changed. Let's first write the equation of the new line. The new line is h. To write that equation, we need two numbers, right? We need the slope
And the y-intercept.
and the y-intercept. What is the y-intercept?
The y-intercept is origin.
0. What is the, or give me another point that we can use for the slope.
2, 2. 2, negative 2.
2, negative 2. So what is the rise?
2.
And the run?
2.
2.
The run?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. So 2 over negative 2 gives us,
Negative 1.
okay? We have the slope. We have the y-intercept. So what is my equation? Y equals
Negative 1x.
negative 1x. You can put the plus 0, don't have to. So who wrote it correctly?
Daniel.
Daniel wrote it correctly. Helps to change everything back to y-intercept form or slope-intercept, okay? So, but because we need to continue practicing, what did Pamela do? She didn't change the slope. What did she do? What does this minus 1 describe? What changed? This is from yesterday.
Oh, that's parentheses.
If it's outside of the parentheses, if it doesn't have parentheses, what are you changing? The y-intercept. So a minus 1 would do what?
Move the y-intercept back.
Back?
Forward.
Y-intercept, y-axis. The y-axis goes and down. Uh-huh. So a minus 1 is going to do what?
Down.
It'll go down. It goes down 1 unit. Okay. Look at Jen. You have parentheses. So that means we're changing the what? X-intercept. Now, the original formula already has a minus sign. So what kind of number was plugged in?
Positive.
A positive 1. And a positive 1 means that the line moved which way?
To the right.
To the right. To the right 1 unit. Because think about this. It's originally written as x minus a number, right? So if I plug in a negative 1,
It becomes a plus.
negative 1 becomes a plus. And it's not a plus here. It's still a minus 1. Got it? Okay. Let me erase that. All right, let's look at number 6. Eduardo will graph g of x is f of 5/3 x on the same grid. Which function will have a steeper line? Which one are we talking about?
Huh?
Hold on. Oh, okay. He's going to graph both of these lines. Sorry, I had a brain fart. He's going to graph both of these lines, and it wants to know which one is going to be steeper. So, what? Y'all have never heard of that before?
No.
For real?
Never heard of what?
I'm bringing forward.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Oh, okay.
I've heard.
So f of x is the same as having y is equal to x, right? That's your parent function. G of x, let's switch it back. Y is equal to 5/3 x. So the slope of this one is what?
1
And the slope of this one,
is 2 and
5/3. So which one is steeper?
the other one.
How do we know which one is steeper? Which one gets steeper? When the number is what?
Greater than. Less than.
Greater than 1. When the number is greater than 1, correct? So which number is greater than 1?
5/3.
5/3. So we can say g of x is steeper. And we're going to write this in because these are notes, because it's inside of the parentheses, so that's a b. b is greater than 1. Number 7, Delilah. Delilah graphed the function, the parent function, and a new one on the same grid. How will it relate? So what changes were made? Here we go. First thing we're going to do is we're going to write this in slope-intercept form, because that's, now we're not just looking at one change, we're looking at 2 changes. We're changing 2 numbers, okay? So v of x is going to switch back to what? Y equals,
2
bring down the 2, x.
minus 3.
Okay, so in the parent function, compare. This is my parent function, right? So we're comparing it to y is equal to 1x plus 0, right? So what happened? Give me 2 changes.
First off, the x is
Talk about the slope. What happened to the slope?
it got multiplied by 2.
And did the number increase or decrease?
Increase.
Okay, so if the number increased, if it's greater than 1, what does that mean for my line? Steeper. Okay, let's look at the y-intercept. There's no parentheses, so we didn't change the x-intercept. So what did my y-intercept change to?
Turns into it went down.
It went from 0 to a what?
-3
And a -3 means it does what?
goes down.
Shifts down. Shifts down. So my slope changed from a 1 to a 2. My y-intercept changed from a 0 to a -3. Got it? Number 8. The function has been transformed. So what they want you to do is write the function for c of x. Write the function for c of x. Easiest way to write the function is to first write it in slope-intercept form. To write it in slope-intercept form, what 2 numbers do we need? To write any equation in slope-intercept form, we need the slope and we need the y-intercept. All right, so look at function c. What is the y-intercept? Three. Thank you. Now give me a second point that we can use so we can find the slope.
On the C.
Yeah.
4
Which one?
to -4.
2, -4. I will take it.
Oh no,
I
Use one
will.
negative one.
No, I won't take that one. Which one?
One negative one.
Hold on. On this one, I used 1 negative 1. 1 negative 1. Whew. Okay. These lines are terrible. Anyway. So what's the rise?
You rise 3,
And the run?
1, negative 1,
Okay, so 4 over negative 1 gives me
negative 4.
negative 4. So let's write this in slope-intercept form. How do you write this in slope-intercept form? Y equals?
Negative 4x
Mm-hmm.
plus 3.
Okay. But they want us to write it in function notation, right? So y is going to change to
C of x
c of x.
equals
Bring down the negative 4. X changes to
f of x
f of x
plus 3.
plus 3. It helps to write it in slope-intercept form first, okay? I'm always going to be a big believer in that. Questions? Okay. So now that we've gone over all 4 changes, we're going to summarize what happens, okay? So when we multiply times the x, what happens? This would be the same as y is equal to ax. What changes are we doing when we change a? What are we changing?
We add slope.
We've talked about changing. Yesterday we did the x and the y-intercept, and today we changed the
Slope.
slope. So what are we changing?
The slope.
Change slope. If I change the slope, am I changing the y-intercept?
No.
No. Same x and y-intercept. Okay. Let's look at the next one. Y equals b of x. B is still a coefficient of x. So what are we changing?
The slope.
Yeah, you're still changing the slope. If you change the slope, are you changing the x or the y-intercept? Same x and y-intercept. The next one, y equals parentheses x minus c. Because we have parentheses, what are we changing?
The x and y. The x.
Just the x-intercept. Parentheses is changing the x-intercept. So if we change the x-intercept, do we change the slope?
No.
No. Same slope. Same y-intercept. New x-intercept. Because we're changing the x-intercept, this is called a what? Horizontal shift. Okay? Horizontal shift. Last one. Y equals x plus d. What did we change?
Y-intercept.
This time we changed the y-intercept. So did we change the slope? Nope. We don't have parentheses, so we did not change the x-intercept. Same x-intercept. New y-intercept. And when you change the y-intercept, what kind of shift is that called?
The
Vertical shift. Vertical shift. Very good.